Hi, 7th graders, and welcome to a new week. We are at Monday, October 19th. I hope you had a wonderful fall break. And with this new week, we are starting a new section in your book. And I will hopefully have your tests back by Wednesday from last week. But we're going to be slowing down a little bit and looking at specific parts of the sentence. So this next section is a section on nouns and identifying nouns. And hopefully this is going to be super easy and you're going to completely know everything. So let's begin. First, let's have you pull out your book, your green textbook, page 95. And as always, I am going to hit the gray box. I've had some students in the past that have actually used flashcards, have written down things from the gray boxes, and by the end of the year they've got these flashcards that they were able to use on the final test, and they're quite helpful. So especially if you have difficulty with any of the material, I would be writing some of these things down, or at least have a really good notes section. So in our gray box, we see that there are nouns, person, place, thing, or idea. I could have asked any of you that and you would have told me what a noun is. Hopefully that's super easy. Now just a few weeks ago we did a writing assignment on concrete and abstract concepts, and we learned that concretes are something that you can feel, touch, taste. It's got a physical shape to it. Abstract is an idea or concept, but it doesn't have any physical shape. Some examples of concrete are table, chair, pizza, floor, wall, person, dog. Other examples of abstract are war, peace, friendship, anxiety, hatred. All of those would fall in all of our nouns will fall into one of these two categories. Now, if you have started working on your Latin, and I believe all of you have, I'm not sure how far you've gotten in, but you will realize that words in other languages take on a gender, masculine or feminine, and then, neuter or common, and your words are going to fall into one of those categories. This is true for the English language as well. And so we have some examples here. Some of them are pretty easy. Boy and girl, pretty easy examples of clear-cut masculine and feminine. But other examples like bull or cow, rooster and hen, boy, girl, waiter, waitress. We see the differences between those words. But we can't always know the gender, and that would be the neuter. I have a cute little rhyme here. Neuter can be either, common can be neither. And so if you can remember this, then you can remember, hopefully, if a person comes into the room, we don't necessarily know if it's a male or female, but it would be in the neuter category. Same with child. Many people have babies and do not find out the gender, and so that would be in the neuter category. Same with the ruler of a country, not a ruler like you measure something, but the ruler of a country could be male or female. And the same with a chicken. And then there are some nouns who can't be either. Book, table, law, bed. We know that those cannot be a gender at all. So just remember, neuter can be either, common can be neither. And the N at the end of common goes with the N at the beginning of neither. So I like to have little tricks that help me remember these things. Okay. Another thing that we're going to be doing a little bit more frequently, and by the end of this chapter, you will learn about this thing called verbals. And those are words that used to be verbs, and they become a noun through adding something to them. And this is sort of the same thing. We're manipulating words. Hopefully in your math classes you've learned how to manipulate numbers, but we can manipulate words as well. And we are going to add endings. So just endings, not any prefixes. And then our words are going to go from being verbs to being a noun. And we're going to look at some examples here in just a second. So they're going to form nouns, and most of them are going to be abstract. I'm not going to say always because they don't always form an abstract noun. Okay, let's take a look at some. So if I tell you I'm going to settle the argument between you and John, that's a verb. But if I put M-E-N-T on it and I say settlement, it could mean that you're going to a settlement to buy a house, or you're in colonial days and you're going to go west and have a settlement out in the west. Same thing with condemn. I might want to condemn someone to jail for the rest of their lives. Or if I add A-T-I-O-N, then condemnation. And that's sometimes something that we feel if we feel guilty about something. Same with guide and guidance. Indulge is the verb. Indulgence is the noun. Credit and creditor. So in your homework, when it asks you to add an ending to create a noun, this is what you are going to be doing. And if you look on page 96, you will see a little paragraph more than halfway down that has some more word examples and endings that you can use. So take a look at that. All right, well, let's practice with a little bit of what we've learned. So we are going to practice with abstract and concrete. You're going to take the words here, down here in this little area, and you're going to choose either abstract or concrete. So I want you to hit pause and take a second and put these words in the right box, and then come back and we will check them. Okay, if you are back, then I hope that you put all the words in. And let me just say, if you're doing this activity, you will get extra credit points. So I'm trying to encourage our class to watch the videos that I put up. So there will often be little activities that will pop up. Right now they will be for extra credit, but later on they may be for actual credit. So you need to make sure you've watched the videos and done everything I've asked you to do in them. So hopefully you did this. If not, then scurry back and get a piece of paper and fill in the words as I go over them. So our abstract words were war, love, friendship, combat, comfort. Now in all of these you can probably conjure up images. War, maybe you've seen fighting on TV. Friendship, maybe you have a good friend. But still, these are things that are a little more difficult to describe and tend to be in the mind of the reader or the writer or whatever. Now concrete, nouns, dog, box, ice, snake, and dinosaur. Now, if some of you put dinosaur in the abstract, I would not count it wrong on a test, because some people believe that dinosaurs may just be in our imagination. However, I think there's enough proof through fossils that dinosaurs were real, and so they would be in the concrete, even though we've never really felt and touched one. Okay, so let's practice our gender parts, and so we want to divide all of these words into masculine, feminine, neuter, or common. And so remember, you've got a whole slew of words here. Some of them will be really obvious and some of them could be a little harder. So the same thing as before, this needs to be part of your extra credit that you're going to turn in. And so you can do it all on one sheet of paper. Maybe just put this at the bottom. Make sure you put your name and that this is extra credit for the video and bring it in. And then you'll get the extra credit points. And maybe some of your classmates won't if they didn't watch the video. So anyway, hit pause and take a minute to fill these in, and then we will go over them. Okay, if you are back, then you have filled everything in, and I want to just go over them quickly. So here we have our masculine, Ronald, father, boy, bull. Those were all pretty obvious. Feminine would be Katie, grandmother, you, which is the female, lamb, and woman. And then those that could be neuter would be lamb, family, neighborhood, baby. In your neighborhood and your family, you're going to expect that both male and females are there. So that's why it falls into the neuter category. And then finally, common. Those are the ones that just can't be anything. And those would be inspiration, war, table, stables. Remember, neuter can be either, common can be neither. And try to remember that little trick. So you're going to move on and do your homework from this section. And if you have any questions, you can bring those to class on Wednesday. For the writing portion, you are going to actually be watching a video on the Lost Colony, and you will be taking notes from it. So this is a different way to gain information, and we will be writing about this. So, so watch the video, take the notes, and then those notes are going to be turned into a keyword outline. So I will plan to see you on Wednesday and hope that you have a good week.